Global Search in Dynamics 365 is a quick access search tool. It searches up to 10 specified entities through specified fields for matching information and presents it in a single screen in a specified order with 3 specified fields per record shown. As a tool, it makes the user more efficient at finding information so they can get more work done quicker, which is of course a good thing. But what many don't realize is that it's a configurable tool where you can both add and remove the type of information and fields that it searches for and displays, and even what fields that it does display. So let's have a look around. The search area is the binoculars in the top right corner, and when we type in a name, for example, here, then that will come up here. In this case, you'll see there's a number of different aspects that are related to Adrian, such as the context is, and opportunities as well as activities. Now, in this case, if we were to look for a quote around groundwater, that's not coming up, and this is because we don't have quotes as a searchable entity in the system, which we would have to set up. And because we have up to 10, we haven't used them up, we can actually go ahead and do that. Now, there's actually 3 things you have to do to make this happen. The first thing is to find the entity. Second thing is to decide what attributes within the entity are being searched, and also what attributes are going to be displayed. So to configure the entities in question, the first step in the process is to decide on the entity. We go to under settings, under administration as the first step for this, and under system settings. In system settings, under the general section, we scroll down until we get to the setup search area. Under here we have a couple of options, but we will focus just on the categorized search in this example. When we click select, it brings up the entities and the order in which they appear. On the left hand side you have the available entities, which include customized entities. On the right hand side we have the ones that we are actually searching through. So as mentioned, you can have up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in this case. We can add another 2. In this case, if we wanted to add the quote, then we would simply go down to queue and add that into the list. And the order of which they appear from left to right is from top to bottom. So if I think quotes is very important to display, I will move that up. And I might have that just straight after lead in this case. And it's as easy as that. If we don't use something like user, for example, we can remove that off the list so it won't search that. So once this is done, we click OK, and it's now updated the system. The second step in the process is to update the actual search areas, which is done in the customization area in the system. So to do this, we go into the settings and customizations and customize the system, which will bring up our menu here. We go into the quote area as entities, and then underneath here we go look for quick find all quotes in this case. So every entity will have a similar one like this, and you can recognize it by the type, which says quick find view. So let's open that up, and it looks like this. The first 3 items that you will see across the bar are the ones that appear in the global search screen. So depending on the order up here will determine what you actually see when you type in your search. In this particular case, we would be looking for the name of the quote, which is under name here. So we're actually okay with that. But in many cases, you might want something else in here. So a quote that has its created date on might be handy, but you might want to see, for example, the due date coming up when you do a search. And to make that appear, we go into add find columns here. So when we add a column in this list, that determines what's being searched for. So we're now going to go in and look for the due date in this here, which is due by. We click OK, and this is now included in the list. Now that doesn't mean that it automatically appears at the top, and so if we want it to show up, we also need to bring it up in this viewable area. So due by, click OK. This is now up here. So as mentioned before, it needs to be in the top 3 to appear. So 1, 2, 3, 4, one more over, and we're good. Now we have to save and close this, and it's important that we also publicize all our changes or all our customizations for this to take effect. So we pause here and we cut this bit out while we wait for it to do its thing. We're still waiting, and now we're publishing. We might actually include the next little bit here. So once we've saved the record, we hit publish all customizations, which will then make sure that the changes that we've put in place will be applied. So we edit here, wait. There we go. So I'm just going to do a test search on this to make sure it actually did what I wanted it to. So there we go. Alright, so now I'm going to start the search again. So I'll just take this back to Adrian, and we'll cut back in shortly here. Now that we've publicized all the changes, we will go back into our global search and we'll search for groundwater in this case, which I know it was in my quote. As you can see, up comes the quote and it brings up the information. In this case, there's no data in the due by, so that didn't appear here. But that is pretty much how we do it.